Greetings, my fellow dwarves. Radaman here. Thank you for tuning in to Dwarf Fortress, Taming the Wilds, Episode 12, Our Common Thread. Next up, more management. Okay. So once I finish up making the barony sweet, I'll work on management. But I think it looks good. And it's, you know, it's in the basement, so as to not go to their ego. If only that was really a game mechanic. So here is the quarn, where you can mill plants, mill seeds into oils, or mill plants into a slurry to make paper. Mill seeds, nuts into a paste. So that's for soap making or for paper making, those kind of things. Come on, cabinet makers. Let's pause the shell blocks. I probably have enough of them now. In fact, I'm going to kill them on the other queues. You can see why I'm not all that eager to hire out mercenaries like this one. Because, like, what has he done? Right? Like, he's drank my booze and eaten my food and fought nothing and done nothing. Because I don't really have a need for mercs. And then when you need mercs to fight like big battles or whatever, they're rather squishy and they just die. And then you're like, oh, okay, I've been feeding you as cannon fodder. It's like, I could have used my dwarves as cannon fodder. And then of course, if the dwarves survive as cannon fodder, they become better fighters. Way of life. I wonder when I'm going to be told to build a guild hall. So a guild hall is kind of like a temple, where once you have enough people that belong to a specific guild, they will ask for a guild hall. A guild hall, much like a temple, doesn't really serve much of a purpose other than those guild members to meet. But the reason I mention that is I'm starting to get a decent amount of miners, so I could imagine a miners guild. And I have a decent amount of farmers, I think, as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 miners-ish. Some of them are not good enough to count yet. Woodcutters I don't have a lot of. Hunters I have none of. Planters I only have 2. I have a lot of herbalists. I can imagine actually an herbalist guild hall coming up as well. But guild halls will be treated kind of the same way as the temples, where it's kind of like a one-size-fits-all. Where I'll just copy and paste the same sort of guild hall. And what we could do is we could actually have the guild halls one level up from the temple. So they'll meet above the temple. So you have the main level with a great hall and the workstations. The level up is for religion and burial, and the level up above that is for the guilds. And then below the main hall is stock room, and then below that is bedrooms, below that is royals. So each floor kind of have its own purpose. Some floors, like the royal floor here, the other half of it is going to have to serve some other purpose because there's never going to be enough nobility requirements to fill an entire level. But we'll just cluster those together like things. Kind of the way that like a ant hive might be laid out. Have a hall of guild halls. So there is not like, other than the generic meeting areas, there's not really a concept of like a hall for halls, for guild halls. So it's probably going to be treated a bit differently is what I'm trying to say. Alright, I'm sure I have that cabinet now. I'll put 2 in. Green means it's met, so right now the bedroom and the tomb needs to be better. The reason I remove the altar there is you can't engrave something underneath an altar, so I'm going to one priority engrave that specific spot and then put the altar back. Wow, that's sacrilege. Someone brought muddy water into the temple to like, maybe they're trying to turn it into wine. I don't know. Just weird dwarf things. There we go. Ooh. This is going to be some craft dwarf garbage. Probably. Peasant withdraws from society. Because they're a peasant, they're not a skilled laborer, so they're probably going to go to the craft dwarf workshop, because... No, they're a stonecutter. I was wrong. They must have enough stone-cutting skills to warrant going stone-cutting. So that's Zas Amazas. I like your name. So they're in a strange mood. They're particularly... It's a secretive mood. Yeah, I guess they're kind of a stone carver. And... They're making something out of jet. Fine by me. Jet and shale block. No, the shell blocks are being hauled away. Yeah, they're making something out of jet. Like a jet table or a throne or something. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it'll be good to put in the nobility office. So in terms of the noble, the burial chamber is the only thing that needs to be spruced up a bit. So I'll engrave like a cross into it. And that will probably increase its value enough to accommodate our barrenness. So here's a good example of someone praying to their specific deity. And in this case, it's actually really helpful because Boiler Snake is one of the two that are in a really bad mood. So if we take a look at their moods here, Boiler Snake is miserable. And he is... he believes in Ostar, Allod, Reg, Adil, Osmal, and Burr. Interestingly, I don't think this is the Allod. This is Adil. Okay, so he believes in Adil, and he's praying to the Temple of Adil, the Temple of Beauty as a result, because that's one of his two gods. In fact, his other god, one of the other two gods, is represented in the other side. So, just by chance, but also not so much chance, because I built two temples with the most believers, a lot of his religion is going to be accommodated. But why are you naked? Okay, I need to fix his nakedness. Because he's off duty, and he isn't wearing any clothes as a result of his off duty. The other one is wearing socks at least. Oh, God. I'm going to assign them a leather uniform, just so that they put on clothes. Because the leather uniform is worn over clothing, so they're going to put regular clothing on underneath. And it was a jet ring, and it was offered to the Gem of Fingers. That's our government. There's also something that I could do. Not that I'm going to. But you can have specific artifacts offered up to your baron, baroness, or anyone that holds a nobility title. So I could... right now, that ring is probably being hauled... Or no, it's right here. This is the ring. I can say, oh, you know, my baroness, you can wear this ring. That's particularly useful if it's armor or weapons, like artifact armor or weapons, and you want to protect someone. In this case, this jet ring, I could put in some room that needs to be improved. The worries, though, I would say, is particularly valuable artifacts in high traffic areas are very likely to be stolen. So this figurine here that is worth like a ton in the Hall of Temple, or the Temple of Halls, is actually a pretty high priority target for someone to thieve it. Which would trigger the justice screen for the first time ever. What I could do is stick the ring on display in the office here. That would be a reasonable thing to really make the office nice. Or the bedroom, or really any of these rooms. But if we take a look, really the burial chamber is still not nice enough? Man, you are fussy. It's because it's smaller. So I'll... You know what I'll do? I will... engrave the things that share a boundary with the other room so that I'm double dipping. And then also what I could do is this office here. Let me fix this. Fat fingering everything. I'm going to remove the doorways so that the other rooms can own the doorways and the floors. Okay. That actually just then... No, it wasn't enough. In fact, I ruined the bedroom. Ha! Whatever. I'll just engrave the damn thing. Just engrave the whole stupid thing. Not worry about it. Oh, okay. We're finally... Because I'm a baron... the elf diplomat has warned me that I have disrespected the trees in my home. And what's going to end up happening is they're going to impose a limit of the amount of trees that I'm allowed to cut down. And that's incoming pretty soon. Where they're like, you can only cut 25 trees a season. And then I go, well, you can bite me. And then they go, well, we will. And in my current state, they would whoop me. But yeah, that's a thing that we have to look forward to now. I think what I'll do, just to keep them happier, is I do want the whole thing engraved, but I'm going to prioritize engraving the bedroom first. And then I'll get back to management with what little time I have left. I can also break down this old office, because no one's using it. So I don't yet have an agreement with the elves to limit my tree cutting. So before I get an agreement, before I try to improve my relationship with them by going, okay, yeah, I will limit the amount of trees that I cut. Let's cut all the trees I can. Because that's how you do it. So, so Treepocalypse has begun. Woodcutters, you are forced to only cut wood. And then you, peasant, you're a woodcutter too. And you stone carver, you're happen to be a woodcutter. In fact, wait, what? You're a legendary stone cutter? Hold on. What? What's going on? Yeah, you're a legend. Okay, since when did you become a legendary stone cutter? Were you a wait, how old are you? Uh, 28? That happened and I didn't notice. I'm gonna name them after one of you guys. So yeah, this legendary stone cutter, who's gonna be able to smooth everything and real nice, it's gonna be named after one of you. So there's the raffle timer up top. They had a Fey mood, and they, like, super leveled up as a result, yeah. I wasn't paying attention whether it was a Fey mood or, like, a secretive mood. Some moods, like Possession, don't level you up, but Fey moods will. So when you have a strange mood, depending on the strange mood, sometimes it gives you experience, and sometimes it doesn't. So in my case, it gave that dude experience, and boy, did it ever. Because he's... Oh, what the hell are you doing, Solon? Are you sleeping in a pile of your own hazelnut roast? I mean, I've heard of gluttony, but, like, that is Scrooge McDuck level nasty gluttony. Okay. Hey, it's your bedroom. It's your life goal. Whatever. So here comes the caravan, and this caravan's gonna go, you can't cut down trees, and I'm gonna try to cut as many trees as I can. Do trees regrow? Yes, they do regrow. They do. How much? Oh, okay, 20 bit 2 coal left. What about leg? 51. Okay, there's so much more to smelt. Wait, what? Come on now. The burial chamber all of a sudden went, oh, you know, I'm not nice enough. But I don't know why it was a terrible Cockney accent. God, stupid Baron. So, their caravan's coming in. They'll have junk to sell me. So, let me sell some junk back. I'm doing the really long junk. Oh yeah, there's the ring that I need to put on display. I forgot about that. Apparently I don't have a lot of... not nearly as much junk as I thought. Did I sell all the children toys? I may have. So there's a bunch of amulets in that box. Bunch of garbage in there. Garbage in there, I'm sure. Yep. Garbage in there. Oh, this is the toy chest. That's all the toys. Do I not have cut gems anymore? Gem bin. Rough and rough. Unless I'm blind and I missed it, I might not have cut gems. I can... oh, no, here it is. 3. I have whopping 3 cut gems. No, I have 38. Sorry. There we go. So I allowed you to wear clothing, and you decided to put on socks. At this point, like, your bad mood is your fault. One thing I could do... okay, they're all kind of naked. Is, a new uniform. No uniform. And I think... does no uniform mean that they just, like, dress on their own? I hope. And rather than strip? We'll see. If I have to, like, tell them to put on clothing, I will. Our trade. Let's send the broker. And now the Baroness is happy. All green across the board. No demands, and only one mandate, which is don't export ballista parts, which is fine. I don't have any. So next goal is... because I only have like 15 minutes left, I think I am not going to undertake something big. I'll undertake something small. So Mass, congratulations. You are now that stonecutter. Oh, you know, I have 2 of them. The stone carver also leveled up as well, so we'll probably raffle that off too. I'll re-roll in a second. Cool. And wow, Mass! Thanks for all the gifted subs. Dang, thank you. All right, the other one that leveled up to legendary would be this stone carver, and they're a legendary stone carver. Because they also succeeded in a Fey mood. So, congratulations, Pro Knight. My broker would rather drink. There she is. She'd rather drink than trade. Truly is a dwarf. Here she comes. No, no. She's meeting someone else. She's chatting with someone. Come on. Come on. She's like, I'll show up when I feel like it. Make those elves wait. Oh, she's coming now. All right, let's see. I don't want your... I might... I was hoping to buy... Nah. Nope. They're usually pretty good bringing in seeds and fruit. I'll just buy it. I certainly don't need it. If you take a look up top, I'm doing fine on food. Maybe I'll buy some clothing. Although, I don't want to dress like elves. Forget that. They have almost nothing. I'll buy... That's it. Yeah, whatever. It's fine. Something else I should probably check is to make sure that I have clothes, and if I don't, I can start tailoring it. Which then will fix that whole people are running around naked thing. I forgot to set my hives outside. I'll do that too. I made 3 shell hives for bees so that I can get honey. The only requirements is, correct me if I'm wrong, but they just need to be placed on the surface. And, like, there needs to be bees that exist on your map tile, which, given my biome, is probably true. So I'm slowly cleaning up my fortress of all of its unwanted stone by crafting crafts into it, and then trading those crafts for things that I want, like food and fabrics and the like. Stocks. So I have 55 cloth, so I have plenty of cloth to make clothing out of. You know what? I actually don't have a ton of clothing. So let's go ahead and make some basics. Trousers. Shoes. Dresses. Loincloths. Why am I missing the... What are they called? Shirts. Dress, cloak. And I'll set these up to be reoccurring. I already have socks queued up, actually. Which is probably why they're wearing socks. Because it's the only thing that I had made. Gloves. Good enough. Alright, so trousers. Let's keep a stock of 3 of this stuff. And when trousers are less than 3, make 3 more. Dresses are less than 3, make 3 more. And I'm setting it up so that they keep a minimum of cloth and stockpile for emergencies, like to make medicine or something. Oops. Yep, shoes less than 3, make more. Cool. So that will have the clothier working. I do have a cloth tailor, and they're skilled, so let's hope that they help. Am I able to rename animals? So here's an animal, and you can rename them. You can give them a nickname, like Yoda. But then, you know, when Yoda dies, I'd be sad. Also, I've only been naming dwarves that are like important to some degree or another. They're legendary or they're combatants or something like that. So I've been picking and choosing who gets names as a result. Not Rick. Thank you for the resub, and have a good night. So other managerial stuff, making sure that I have clothing is probably wise, I'd imagine. Backpacks, water skins, quivers, all good. I don't have any... Do I have pigtail seeds? I do. So next summer, I'm going to also plant pigtails instead of plump helmets, because I have plenty of drink and plenty of food. Pigtails equals fabrics. Let's see if these guys are... Okay, you all naked now? Yes. I'm sure there's a better way to do this, but I am just going to do it the hard way. So add a uniform. Off duty. Headwear. What do I want to give you? Maybe I don't need headwear, but bodywear. We'll do robes. Headwear. Hoods. Legwear. Trousers. Handwear. Gloves. Footwear. Shoes. Footwear. Socks. And confirm. And assign. I'm just curious. I again don't think that this is the way to do it, but I'm curious if it actually works. More people are getting happy, except for those two that are like naked and sad. They're slowly moving in the right direction. All right, something else I could do is I have a lot of Cowlinite from excavating that barracks. So I could do more porcelain stuff for sale. But moving shale into the overflow is going to cause a huge pileup, but it will help me clean things up. So maybe actually I'll do jet first into this stockpile. So that would be a other stone jet. And then economic stone, Cowlinite, and gypsum. So the jet, gypsum, and Cowlinite are going to be moved into the overflow stockpile. And what that's going to do is it's going to let me move the gypsum that's like all over the nobility suite into the stockpile. And then the Cowlinite, which eventually will turn into clay porcelain stuff. Done. Will get moved in there too. And then the jet, which I can turn into jet blocks. So how about I do that now? So rock blocks, repeat forever, jet. So all of my jet will turn into black flooring or black walls. And I can use that designated for military or something. So that the civilians live in shale and the military lives in jet or something like that. Cool. Did it work? Probably because I don't have those things yet. Why aren't they queuing it up? Let me check the queue. So let's say trousers. Yeah, it's satisfied. I don't know why. Oh, yeah, we're only putting cloth bags on the queue. No other work orders. You had a dwarf child, got depressed and died on top of the well? Was he Timmy? Did he fall down? Did you have a war dog named Lassie go find him? Please tell me the answer to one of those is yes. Oh, one of the moodiest just got unmoody. Boiler Snake. He was so very happy wearing his porcelain earrings or his stone earrings that he's not now in the miserable category. Once we solve their clothing problem, I'm sure it will fix. We'll right that wrong. Some dwarves probably don't mind being naked. It really depends on their personality. You could read it and be like, well, if I don't know if that's a personality trait, but I can imagine it would be. How are the stockpiles under my workshops configured? So a good example with that would be smelters. So underneath the smelters are a stockpile for bars. So we have copper and silver bars and whatever boxes of bars underneath the smelter. And then underneath that are raw ores. And then adjacent to it are refined fuel, like coke or wood. Well, I guess just coke, actually. And then underneath that would be wood and bit2 coal and lignite. Night, whatever it's called. I wouldn't necessarily qualify it as like meta or whatever, but it works as a workflow. And same deal, like underneath the armory is armor and flux stone, and then underneath the weaponsmith is like steel and weapons. Underneath the gem worker is cut and rough gems. Underneath the stone worker is stone furniture and stone. Just so that the travel time for your craftsmen, I mean, the high tier concept is that the travel time for the people that have skills should be as little as possible, and the haulers haul those items. So if you, for instance, have a jeweler, you don't want the jeweler running out to where rough stone is 10 miles away, because that's a huge misuse of their skill. You want them to spend most of their time honing their skill. So this gem worker can grab rough gems like less than 8 tiles away and put the cut gems less than 8 tiles away or so. So in their daily process, they're not doing walking. Basically, you want your unskilled people to do the walking and your skilled people not to. Kind of the idea. And it doesn't have to look like this. And also, I would go so far as to say, this is not the final setup, but you do also want to group and cluster like things. So you probably do want your smelting and your metalworking close to one another, because there's synergy between it, where your smelters are going to smelt bars for your metalworkers. Red panda? Yeah, I don't care. And the elves are... Oh, the elves left. Good. I want to floor up the tile underneath the trade depot. So, good riddance to you. Oh, here's... What are you doing? They were just like... Okay. They were do-si-doing at the stairs. Let me get rid of those walls, because I think it was messing them up. Did they ask me to cut fewer trees? Not yet. I don't have any agreements with them. Next season they come, they will ask if I want to improve my relationship with them by agreeing to cut fewer trees. And at that point, I can either say yes or no. It will be up to me. I'll probably say yes, because I'm not ready for war with the elves. That sounds like a bad time. Is everyone running around naked now? No, this just happens to be the same axe dwarf. Yeah, everyone else is wearing clothing. Trousers and a dress, shoes and clothing. It's just my combat people are. No, that's not true. They're trying to wear clothing now. There was an attempt. Yeah, there we go. So we're actually making the clothes now. The shoes, trousers, cloaks, loincloths, dresses. I think I just didn't have them, and then somehow when I put armor on the military, they just like forgot to keep the cloth clothing, or the cloth clothing decayed into nothing and I never replaced it. One of those two things is true, and whichever it is, I obviously screwed up. Which got to be pretty funny. I think what I'll do is this is the Temple to Beauty and this is the Temple to Sun. I am going to put the ring that I have, the artifact ring that a craftsman made, in the Temple of Beauty to raise its value a little. Oh, and the Baroness ended a mandate. I can now export ballista arrows or whatever it was. It would be shown here, mousing over. You want to entertain people. So this will be the first entertainer that I'm going to allow. So I've allowed one mercenary and one entertainer. So let's get the entertainer a bedroom. I have no idea how skilled they are. I just agreed. Just because it was a unique thing. So you are human bard. You just suck. But, you know, whatever. And then, Uos Boki Muchi or whatever. I don't know. Crazy names. Hey, you can work in here as a performer. I think you do that by default, actually. I don't really need to tell you, because this is, like, what dwarves should do. But it does mean that, like, it might be a good idea for me to have a tavern keep. So... I need to find a tavern keeper. I'm going to make it Shem. I'm going to lock Shem into his jobs. And then, Shem, you are not going to be a planner anymore, even though you're accomplished. And you're not going to be a plant gatherer. You're just going to be a tavern keeper. Hopefully, you're doing something that you enjoy. God, why are we storing the booze up there? I want the booze here, where it's easily accessible. Silly people. And I'll put a few more thrones and tables in here. I mean, it will accommodate up to 9, and I've never seen more than 9 people use this area. Adequate ambusher? That bard looks fishy. Well, I do have a military. Granted, they're right now naked. Competent crossbowman. Oh, they're that kind of bard. They strum the loot, and then they shoot you in loot. Little column A, little column B. Bard after my coin. What are you doing, dude? He's going off, isn't he? You guys didn't tell me. Well, I am nearly out of time. Let's see if I can't wrap this up by clothing my combatants. Like the least I could do. We are making dresses and trousers and cloaks, so given time, especially given that the task is recurring, we'll eventually get spare clothing to make sure that nobody is subjected to the dank air of the caverns in an embarrassing way. I feel bad for the dwarves that didn't notice had no clothing. Just periodically make sure that we are not cooking things that can be brewed, because it's easier to source food than it is to source liquor. And then make sure that we don't cook any of our liquor unless we have... I mean, I do have 238 persimmon wine, so I could pare down my persimmon wine, but, you know, I don't need to do that. That is a lot of persimmon wine. Looks to me like we're finally running to the end of our bit coal. Well, that probably means I'm out of it, which is good. I was trying to get rid of it all, process it into coke so that we didn't have to cut down trees. One of the big things is once you get to roughly the point where I'm at, the elves are going to ask you not to cut down any more trees. So if you don't have a lot of coke in order to smelt with, and you rely on cutting down trees for your coke, you're gonna have a really bad time because you're now at a point where like your metallurgy is going to come to a screeching halt unless you want to just flip off the elves. And if your metallurgy is coming to a screeching halt, you're probably not in a position to flip off the elves because you probably don't have a military if you have no metals. Anyway. My point being, all of that lignite and bitu coal stockpiled up is going to be really nice. So, I've got 768 coke. Damn. Coked out of my mind. Just no one tell Charlie Sheen or he's going to raid me. That's right, Charlie. Wait, what? Why do I have random pipes here? What? I don't know what's going on there. Didn't I rush roll? Don't I have 2 of them already? There's 1 rush roll. And there's 2. Yeah, I guess I made 3 pipes. Well, I was hoping to have a party in here, but like... Nope. These dwarves don't want to party, they just want to drink. You guys did vote on management, and I feel like I managed our nakedness. Let's see if I've fixed it a little bit better. Yeah, 1 person's wearing pants. That's got to count for something. Very, very little. But something. Just embark on a volcano. Yeah, or you could do that. Dance of the magma crab. It's a fun dance. Ends up in sadness. Yeah, here's all of our boxes of coke. It's actually not stored right now. I have a max bin of 25, and I actually, is it? Yeah, it's just in the smelters. They haven't sorted it yet. Well, I've got to say, the entertainer that I hired has not been entertaining. They're reciting poetry in the dorm, which is probably the most aggravating place to recite poetry, because you're only ever in the dorm when you want to sleep. So if a bard came up to me while I was, like, trying to sleep and started reciting poetry, oh boy, I'd be wanted for murder. That's a thing. They started a trend of swimming in their own hazelnut roasts. My dwarves are weird. Things they like are very weird. Not allowed to export shields. Okay. The urgent woodcutters that I had hired, I can now fire. I don't think it's important. How much wood do I have actually? Before the elves come back and they impose some sort of, I have 1,654. I think I'm good on wood for a while. I am going to have a bit of a problem actually storing that wood. I haven't looked at the surface. Oh my god. Yep. Yeah, we're not going to have any issues with wood, I don't think. I think we'll be good there. I'm definitely not going to be able to store that wood anytime soon. That's about 1,400 more wood than I have space in my little hovel here. It does remind me, though, pick. Copper picks. Just make sure I have some spare picks. Copper, because I don't intend to use them as a weapon. They're not, like, terrible weapons, I don't think. Like, in a pinch, you know. But, there you go. The last thing I wanted to do is to get clothes on my back. And, come on, go wear clothes. In fact, here, schedule ready. That forces them to to go and equip stuff rather than to work. And I'm going to make sure that they don't do any other labor. Axe Dwarf isn't working anything. I'll lock it. Axe Dwarf, lock it. Militia Commander, lock. Okay, so they should just be getting ready and putting clothing on, which allows me to end. I think I'm out of cloth, though. No. Wait, what? I have boxes of cloth. But you just told me I didn't have any cloth. Oh, now I have cloth again? Come on, guys. I'm just trying to get them not angry, but I'm apparently failing at that. My clothier, whoever it is, you, lock. Make that dress. Okay, they say it was canceled, but it doesn't tell me why. Let me try that again. One unused plant cloth. Huh. Because these are... Oh, they're all wool and... Okay, hold on. Let's make a dress instead. And a silk dress. Silk, once you secure caverns and you can go collect webs, you end up with like a pretty good amount of silk. Yeah. Cave spider silk. And that would be down here in this level. Around here. Especially in the caverns, but just open areas where the spiders are gonna spin webs. But they look like this. Cave spider, silk web. You only really want to come down here when you have a force to be able to reckon with whatever's in here to secure the area, because there's potentially dangers in here, and you don't want your random people to like run into a cave crocodile or whatever else is down here. So there's a few cave crocs right now, but there could be troglodytes, trolls, forgotten beasts, whatever. So we're getting there. I did say that I wanted to put the ring on this. There it is. To help out the value of this beautiful temple. And we did get some sheep wool dresses, so with any luck... Oh, I have him wearing robes. Let me fix that. Details. New body wear. Dresses. Off duty, and assign the second off duty. Operation Boiler Snake needs to cover his trouser snake. Is getting to be eventually successful. Oh, except for I'm in combat. Against another red panda. Silly panda. Of course, the Daedora here is married to the tailor, so she's the first one to get dibs on the clothing. That's why she's clothed and the others aren't. She is the sneaky hookup. And we've got humans coming back. Oh, I don't have a trade spot because I was flooring it up and never put it back. Let's make it... Yeah, I'll keep Cinnabar. Make sure to get that quickly, because otherwise, no trade. There we go. Okay, they're all getting clothing. I don't know if it's enough clothing to have them not pissed, but it's a start. And I will continue the clothing trend to make sure that my dwarves don't go into a nosedive of anger, because that can really set a lot of them off. And there's the caravan. And this one happens to have a wagon. So I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is the first time a wagon has visited. So one of the reasons why I have a 3-wide ramp here, coming into the... Oops, wrong direction. A 3-wide ramp coming into our fortress is... wagons require 3 wide to pass, as you'll see here in a second, as it comes in across the bridge. You could, of course, just put the trade depot on the surface and, like, wall it up. But there it is. Wagon time. And the wagons have a lot more carry weight. So if you wanted to sell things that are heavy, like statues that weigh a ton, I think. How heavy are statues? Yeah. Statues that weigh a lot, or other stone furniture or stuff like that. You're really going to have to sell the wagons because they have the carry weight for it, whereas the smaller individual people with, like, donkeys or horses aren't going to be able to accommodate the weight. And that, my friends, is all the time I have for this stream. Thank you for tuning in to Dwarf Fortress Taming the Wilds, which originally streamed live on Twitch January 3rd. If you have any feedback or questions for me, please let me know in the comments below, but also keep in mind that this is a no backseating series. If you'd like to discuss this game, please join Discord instead. Rodamont.com or the description of this video have a link to Discord. If you would like to join my live streams, Rodamont.com also has a link to Twitch, as well as my countdown timers to upcoming streams and my schedule. Thank you so very much for watching. A special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I'll catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow dwarves.